Jacinta Nampijinpa Price, Senator for the Northern Territory, former Deputy Mayor, of course, of Alice Springs, joins me now. Jacinta, I tell you, the hard left, they don't give up. Very hard work over the last few days, even while the nation is in mourning for the Queen, to try and convince Australians that we need a republic, and they're inevitably making this about your mob. What's your reaction to what you've just heard?
Well, you know, the left have always done that Australians to push their agenda and to suggest that it's Indigenous Australians that will
change. And of course, they choose the Indigenous people that they want to push their particular voice on this. And what I'd say to the left is, in traditional Aboriginal culture, we actually respect people during the mourning period. We call this sorry business time, and we allow for the family to go through their mourning period, and we show our respect. And clearly, they might use Indigenous Australians to push their own agendas, but they certainly don't observe Aboriginal culture along the lines of particularly that mourning period. And I know a lot of Aboriginal people who are observing this mourning period because they had respect for who the Queen was and what she meant to Australia, and not only that, but because of the fact that she is a human being, that she, you know, she was a mother, a grandmother, a family member, and someone who had great responsibility on her shoulders, and just like an elder of the Commonwealth, an elder of the world, and really, you know, it's quite shameful, this behaviour that's going on right now, coming from the ABC and coming from the left, and trying to push this on Australians. And if they thought it was going to gather momentum, I think it might do the opposite and actually damage their campaign.
Beautifully said, Jacinta, eloquently said. I mean, we've seen a lot from the Greens in the Parliament in Victoria. We've seen their usual tweets and other pretty foul stuff online. Your point about this being perhaps counterproductive, given polls were already saying people are very comfortable with our existing arrangements, and even if they're not necessarily monarchists, they're not convinced that what the usual suspects on the left are offering is a better alternative. What do you make about this whole debate now about the currency and the Prime Minister today, Anthony Albanese, sort of leaving the door open on changing the $5 note?
Look, the $5 note doesn't bother me. I think we've got bigger issues to deal with. We've got a Westminster system that works for us right now. If it's not broken, why try to fix it? That's all I can say on all those issues.
We heard today Andrew Cornell was right across this one, Assistant Minister for the Republic, Matt Thistlethwaite, was going to head up a $1,200 a head fundraiser for the Australian Republican movement. When Andrew Cornell telephoned his office and was told the event was going to be postponed, interestingly, only after Andrew's call was that post and detail removed from the website.
Yeah, look, that's really interesting. And again, it's not observing this mourning period, and also the fact that as members and senators, we are supposed to follow protocol, you know, directly for the 2 weeks following the death of the Queen. And it's pretty concerning that you know, that the minister had all these fundraisers that he was going to attend, especially with regard to fundraising for a push for a referendum.
Thank you for joining us and keeping us across all that stuff happening at home. Jacinta Price, thank you as always.